A very good morning to Madam and my fellow classmates. Well, today we are going to present our project, which is Philosophy of Education, with the title Factors Affecting MSU Students' Behavior in Classroom and in Campus as well. So, without further ado, let's get into our introduction. Before that, my name is Raghavendra Analaki Ramaya, and going to talk about introduction. Well, effective learning takes places in an environment from where a classroom where students are well behaved. So sometimes, it is always not possible to have a classroom without misbehavior. In out of 40 students in a classroom, there will be 5 or 6 students. They try to do some kind of issues that end up in trouble or some kind of misbehavior in the classroom that make teachers, especially, make them stressed and make them burn out. This make teachers stressed and also burn out, and also they feel what can they do to prevent this. This situation has forced many teachers to abandon the profession. Although it is a very simple issue, misbehavior, but a research shows that because of this, a lot of teachers, not a lot, amount of teachers had resigned from the profession, or maybe they had transferred to another school, maybe because of these issues. However, student misbehavior can be referred to as the actions and inactions of students that distract the learning continuum in the classroom. Also, I believe that a student's behavior that interferes with or distracts from the process of learning is referred to as student's misbehavior. So a student is, interfering the class, or maybe distracting a student's focus on the class is also considered as misbehavior, because misbehavior not only identified as discipline issue, but also something that is related to something that students do it for fun, that's as considered as misbehavior. So student misbehavior such as disruptive talking, chronic avoidance of work, clowning, interfering with teachers' activities. Alright, in this report, different terms have been used to describe problematic behaviors of students in campus and classroom, also in secondary school and in primary school as well. So the primary goal of this study is to examine classroom problems behavior among primary school students, secondary school students, and also in MSU campus and classroom as well. So what is the factors and what is the way are going to...
Hi, my name is Shirin binti Zainuddin. Now, I want to conclude about our methods and setting on how we collect the data, how we get the 30 respondents from students at MSU, and how we interviewed the students. Okay, so first, I want to talk about how we make our survey. So, we make our survey in Google Form, and we make 8 questions for students to rate our opinion based on this misbehavioral issue. So, the students need to rate from strongly agree, disagree, and even strongly disagree. So, we spread our news. We promote our survey, the Google Form survey, in MSU's WhatsApp group, our class group, and even social media such as Instagram. And also we promote it on also WhatsApp status, and even we reach out our senior to promote our study about this misbehavioral issue, and that's how we get the overall 30 respondents. Next, let's go to the survey. Okay, so mostly the survey respondents is from SAS students at MSU. Okay, next, I want to talk about the interview, and we managed to interview like 5 participants of students from SAS. Each one of us, okay, so my group mate has 5, I have 5 group mates. So each one of us interviewed one person individually. The interview was held in Zoom and face-to-face interview. So the interview went very smoothly. They give a lot of opinions, overwhelming response about the study, and then they also give a lot of suggestion on how to resolve this misbehavior issue in class and at the MSU campus itself. That's all from me. Thank you.
So now we're going to talk about findings. So there's 2 findings that we're going to present, which is 4 factors and 5 ways. So I'll be talking about 4 factors why this behavior is happening in the classroom, which is in campus, in the secondary school or primary school. So as we all know that people do this because of a very main thing, which is seek of attention. They try to seek attention from other students or maybe from the teachers as well, so that they can show their power, or maybe they can project themselves as they have the power, they are big in the classroom. So when talking about seek of attention, people may do things like shouting, screaming, or maybe make fun of the teacher, make fun of a student, so that makes everyone to attract attention on them, on the particular individual. So this shows that seek of attention has been a main factor that leads to misbehavior in classroom, which is a very concerned thing in today's world, because seek of attention, people like this, attention seeker, they tend to do anything to seek attention of other classmates or other peers in their classroom. So the first factor is seek. The second factor will be lack attention from family. So some research shows that, or some scientists or some psychologists shows that people come from a lack of attention from their family, from their parents, tend to be misbehaved in class. It is proven that students who has a lack of love, lack of attention, lack of attention from their parents tend to do misbehaving in the class. Why it is happening? Because parents tend to be busy in their work, or maybe they tend to not really focus on the child, so the child do whatever they want in their life. So for example, they are doing misbehavior in the classroom, so the students behaving like that in the classroom may not know by the particular individual's parents. This leads to students to do whatever they want in the classroom, or whatever they misbehave in the classroom may never know to the particular individual's parents. So this shows that lack attention from family is a serious issue as well, because when a child is neglected from their parents, it indicates that the parents does not care or does not give good attention to the particular individuals, such as students, and some students tend to do whatever they want because of lack of attention from their family. So from this we can know that attention from family, love from family is very important. So a parent should know what the child is doing in the school, what kind of behavior is projecting to his friends, to his or her teachers in the classroom. The third factor of this issue is circle of friends. So in today's world, students tend to spend more and more time with friends rather than their parents. It is because they're going to school, they're going to classes, they're going outing with their friends. So they tend to spend more time with their friends. So these friends can heavily influence them to misbehave in class, especially friends that is especially friends that brings negative vibes, negative behaviors to their friends. So these can influence, and they can follow the behavior from them and project it when they are in the class. And also they can also a friend's behavior can also influence, and they can attract from it, and they can show in your class as well. So this indicates that circle of friends is very important, because a good friend will show a good behavior to their friends, to the students in the class, their peers, and everything. So circle of friends indicates that, it also shows that a good friend always shows good behavior to their friends. So a circle of friends is very important while choosing friends, because their behavior is going to influence by ourselves. So it is very important of circle of friends. For this is influenced by social media. As we all know that social media plays a very big role in today's world, especially in youngsters. It is because today's world, everything is in the technology, everything is in our mobile phone, everything is in the social media, and students or students or people who got influenced by social media can show misbehavior in class, such as some kind of videos that is projecting some kind of behavior, shouting, screaming, gangsterism, that can influence by a student easily, because they are accessed to social media 24/7, and it indicates that, and it also shows that social media plays a very big role in positive way and in negative way. So when a student take it from a negative way, they can influence from that, and they can project their misbehavior in class. So social media also plays a very big role in misbehavior in class. So there's also students from what you call few schools, such as like secondary school or primary school. They tend to bring phones, bring cell phones to classes. So what happens when they bring phones or classes, bring phone to class? They can use the phone or social media 24/7, even in their home and even in their classroom. That's why we have rules at school: don't bring your phones, because school is where you're going to study, where you're going to get knowledge. So it is important that students not to bring their phones to school. So it is important that social media influence a lot of teenagers today, that leads to misbehavior in the classroom. So that's all from me for Friday. So the next is 5 ways will be presented by Anas. Thank you.
Hello and good morning everyone, also Madam. Today I'm going to talk about ways how we can modify students' behavior in campus or in classroom. The first way is we can spice up learning to be creative. So this is because the main focus of teaching is to get the students participate and learn. For example, teacher or maybe lecturer can use writing chart or maybe colorful cards in order for them to teach. This is the great way how we can engage with students, and also the students are not easily get bored. So moving on to the second ways, which is teachers can also give effective single action commands. These ways we can avoid some scenario. For example, teacher can scold them, but not in a very harsh manner. That can conclude that their students are misbehaved in class or in campus. So the third way is teacher also can remind their students' behavior in class, and maybe they can try to talk to them. For example, like the teachers can motivate their students to be like this or to be like this, and to be cool in classroom. This can cause the students to misbehave in class. So we moving on to the fourth ways, which is the teachers, or we can having the parents to monitor their own children. This is because parents are closely to their children, right? So if the parents are not mentioning their own child, so the child are going to show a really bad behavior in classroom or maybe anywhere. So in terms of that, parents can always monitor their children's actions, so that for example, like parents can ask the teacher to examine or maybe assess their children, or maybe the parents can ask the teachers to give their children behavior in class, and so on and so forth. So the last one is the students must choose good friends to create a good circle. This is because friends play a significant role to students, because friends also are closely to us as a student, as a teenager. So this can cause, if the students choose to be friends with the good students, these good students, they will become positive. But if the students choose to be friends with the bad students, they will become negative. So this is the example how we can actually manage, or we can modify students' behavior in campus or in class.
Hi, my name is Ashika. I'm going to present about the findings of the research. So looking at the first question, do you believe that seeking the attention of schoolmates and classmates is one of the reasons that students misbehave in the class? So as I provide the table, you can see that 5 of them strongly agree, 15 of them agree, 9 of them disagree, and also 1 of them strongly disagree. As we see in the table, it shows that 20 out of 30 students believe that acting out in class is one of the techniques for people to give their classmates attention. If there is no students who always seek attention, the classroom will be more boisterous. However, it's impossible to have a perfect lesson without any difficulties. Overall, we can see 66.7% of respondents agreed to this reason, and also the remaining 33.3% disagreed that it was improper for people to ask for attention. Moving to the second question, we can see that, do you think that engaging parents with positive communication opportunities could improve a student's behavior in class? We can see that 20 of them strongly agree, 7 of them agree, and also 3 of them disagree, 0 strongly disagree. According to the chart above, according to the table above, you can see that 27 out of 30 students say having parents who are willing to communicate will help the student to behave, whether it's at school or at a normal place. So everyone have their own every parents have their own parenting style. So it really affects someone who behaves in the classroom. As we mentioned, having parents with great communication helps students to behave better in school. So overall, we can see that 90% of the students has agreed with this statement, but 10 of them disagree of parents' attention towards child will affect their behavior in class. The third question is, do you think that social media like TikTok and electronic gadgets are factors in students' misbehavior in class or school? We can see the respondents say they strongly agree, 7 of them, and 12 of them agree, 9 of them disagree, and also 2 of them strongly disagree. And for the percentage, you can look at the chart. If you look at this question, according to the data above, 90 out of 30 students agreed that social media platforms like TikTok and electronic devices contribute to people's misbehaving in the classroom. We actually cannot dispute the importance of electronic devices and social media in today's world. Why? Because students began to accept online learning approach during the pandemic period, and their main concerns with network availability, comfort, network connectivity, and online learning outcomes. People see that online learning contents is like way more easier than going to face-to-face class. So I think this is one of the reasons we can't dispute the importance of social media or internet from the overall. We can see that 63.3% of the students has agreed with this statement, but 36.7% of them disagree that social media like TikTok and electronic gadgets can affect students' behavior in the class. Moving on to the fourth question, do you believe that lack of attention from family and family issues can lead students to misbehave in class? As you see, 23 out of 30 students believe that lack of attention to the family can actually lead someone to misbehave in class. If a student's relationship with their family is not in place, it will affect them mentally. So it will lead them to misbehave because they don't really have someone to communicate. They don't have someone to really guide them on how to behave. Overall, we can see that 76.7% of the respondents agree to this statement, and also 23.4% disagree that lack of attention in the family is not the reason. The fifth one, do you think that the students' misbehavior is also contributed by their circles of friends or activities outside of class or school? We can see that 11 of them strongly agree, 16 of them agree, 2 of them disagree, and also 1 of them strongly disagree. Regarding this table, we can see 27 out of 30 of them agree that student misbehavior is contributed by this issue. We know that finding a good circle of friends is really important because good friends can always help us to become a better person. Not everyone actually get influenced by their friends, but at times students has to follow their friends in order to get into the group. Overall, we can see that 90% of students has agreed with this statement and 10 of them said this is not the reason. The sixth one will be, do you think that the teachers are responsible for students' behavior in the classroom or at school? We can see that respondents says 6 of them strongly agree, 16 of them agree, and also 7 of them disagree, 1 of them strongly disagree. According to the recorded data, 22 of the students out of 30 of them agree that teachers are responsible for students' behavior in the classroom. Teachers actually play a very important role in students' life. As a teacher, one must bring out the best in students. They can actually help the students to actually change their character and their behavior in the classroom. Even though students actually already have been shaped by their parents, their family, but teachers also has their responsibility to shape and discipline the students. Overall, we can see that 73.3% of students agree and also 26.6% disagree. Another 2 findings will be continued by my next presenter.
So as we can see here, the analysis part, question number 7, do you think a student misbehavior could be identified as a discipline issue or not? In the table here, there is 90% of the students agree that student misbehavior could be identified as a discipline issue. I think why they choose agree because they have been in their shoes. They have the same feeling, so they want student misbehavior in class and classroom have some action. The action that teachers in MSU should take action about student misbehavior issues. So the last question is, should a student be punished if he or she misbehaves in the classroom or school? It's the same one. There is 90% of them is agree that students should be punished if he or she misbehaves in the classroom or school. Example, there are some students vaping in the toilet, in the hub, but no one take action about that. No, there is no lecturer or teacher or anyone to talk about them. So they just simply continue vaping in their area. They know that is not allowed. They know that it's not allowed to vaping in the area, but they still do it because no one cares about them. So they still continue to vaping in the school area. Solution is to know there is a lot of misbehavior happening in the campus and class. Example, in class, we know that there are some students who like to vaping in campus area, even though they know they are not allowed to do that. In class, a lot of attention seeker that seek attention and cause the class environment become worse and let other students not comfortable with the study environment. Lack of time management in student life was also a serious problem that happening now and cause their assignments and project mark was affected. As a future teacher, we know that there will be a lot of challenge while teaching. One of the challenge is how to solve students' misbehavior in class and campus. Some of the students misbehavior because lack of attention from their parents or from their friend. And some of their misbehavior because of lack of self-esteem. As a caring teacher, we can help them to solve of their own problems. We can tell them the negative factors of having vape in the campus area. We can also help them in assignment submit time management. Help them in their assignment submit time management guideline. Tell them which one they should do first and which one is more important. It's hard to be a teacher. We need to analyze student problems and need to help them to solve it. But it is our responsibility to help them to be their best in their future and help them to be the best as a student. Thank you.